This is how we do it. Mm-mm. This is how we do it. Hey, y'all, it's Friday. So happy. Are you happy that it's Friday? It's been a long week, but we are here. The weekend. Hopefully everybody's about to get outside, do something fun. Welcome to the Parker's Couch. Thank you for pulling up. The podcast is out. If you've been waiting for another episode of the Parker's Couch podcast, it is out as we speak. So go to Apple, go to Spotify, go to Amazon, go to Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts. You can hear me and my two brothers going at it. Just talking mainly about sports on this episode, but we get some into the campus protests that are going on. Talk about just mostly sports. Some of the big headlines with the NBA, NFL draft, some Dion, little Twitter beef, and all this stuff. We've been having a lot of beef lately, just in every facet of the world, and we're gonna get into that just in a little bit with some particular beefs. But check out the Parker's Couch podcast. Make sure you subscribe and like this channel, share it with your friends, and continue to pull up to the couch, my little tater tots. That's what we like to call our crew, because we're all couch potatoes at the end of the day. Watching something, reading something, doing whatever, just relaxing on your couch and taking in all the entertainment. Well, today, babies, I am here to really share some of my, stuff that had me ticking for this week. That's what my Fridays are becoming. I like to just sit back and talk with you all just about what I've been thinking about during the week. Some stories that you'll be familiar with. Some might be new to you. I'm going to do a part one and a part two because they're going to have different themes. Part one is centered all around beefs. Why are we beefing? There's so many beefs going on right now. I'm not going to cover all of them. I'm just going to highlight the ones that have been interesting to me, that I've been paying attention to. And I say, excuse the little swollen eye that you see. The allergies have been kicking my tail. At least it's not bloodshot red right now, but she's still a little swole. But these allergies are going to be taken care of hopefully soon. I got my pills back, so now I'm taking my allergy medicine, and let's hope that cures it all. So I'm going to be sharing too and reading from articles just to help us through some stories, to bring some clarity and things that you may not have understood what was happening, or just to get the full context with stories. But we're going to start it off with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. What greater beef is there going on right now that has the world just talking? And Kendrick is lighting Drake's ass on fire. And I'm here for it personally. And, I might share some of those reasons why I am here for it. But let's start off really with what this beef is streaming from. Because if you're like me, it was one point I'm like, why are they really beefing with each other? This whole crew, like, what is happening? Like, it seemed like something that should have stayed just in a lyrical context, but it started getting deeper. It seems like it's getting a little bit more personal right now. So, how did the beef start? So, when Kendrick Lamar was a young up and comer, Drake offered him a helping hand by inviting him onto his Take Care album and giving him an opening spot on his 2012 Club Paradise tour. But in 2013, after the success of Lamar's debut album, Good Kid, Mad City, he made his ambitions clear. During a guest verse on Big Sean's Control, he called out Drake, J. Cole, Meat Mill, Matt Miller, Pusha T, and a host of other rappers, warning them, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you. Asked about the diss, Drake told Billboard magazine, I didn't really have anything to say about it. It just sounded like an ambitious thought to me. That's all it was. I know good and well that Lamar is not murdering me at all in any platform. So when the day presents itself, I guess we can revisit this topic. Well, that day has now presented itself again, and we are revisiting Drake. So I'm wondering if you still feel the same way. So this latest escalation, what triggered it? So back in October of last year, Drake released his eighth album, For All the Dogs, which featured a collaboration with J. Cole called First Person Shooter. In one verse, Cole suggested that he, Drake, and Kendrick were the big three of the current era of hip hop. And they have the lyric here: love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K. Dot Kendrick? Is it Aubrey Drake or me? We the big three, like we started a league. And I think he goes on to call himself the Muhammad Ali, J. Cole. I mean, this is just like generic rapper talk. You know, of course, every rapper thinks they're the best, but it's nothing really that big or whatever here. The song debuted at the top of the U.S. single chart, becoming Drake's 13th and Cole's first number one song. And the achievement meant Drake tied with Michael Jackson for the most number one singles by male artists. And that part is kind of key with one of Kendrick lines that he says later. But he says a week later, Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer replaced them at number one, and the moment seemed to have passed. But privately, Kendrick had taken note and he wasn't happy. All right, so Kendrick Lamar was a little bothered by this. So in March 2024, producer Metro Boomin and rapper Future released a collaborative album called We Don't Trust You. Hidden in the track list was a song called Like That, with an uncredited verse by Kendrick Lamar, and it was explosive. With a tightly wound, explicitive-laden delivery, he took aim at Cole's verse, claiming there was no bit three, it's just big me. He went on to call Drake and Cole's best verses insubstantial, a light pack, and declared he was the Prince to Drake's Michael Jackson. So that's where the great argument with Prince and Michael Jackson, who's better, all those things. So he called himself the Prince, almost like he's the nemesis right there. And we know the great beef that Prince and Michael Jackson had, allegedly, or not so allegedly. The power of the verse can't really be conveyed in print, but when it ends with Lamar promising to put all of Drake and J. Cole's dogs in a pet cemetery, and we're not talking about literal dogs here, a fuse was lit. And we know Pet Cemetery, Stephen King. It's worth noting that the placement of Lamar's verse is also significant, as Metro Boomin is a former Drake collaborator who fell out with the Canadian star. Metro, whose real name is Leland Wayne, produced the majority of Drake's 2015 album, What a Time to Be Alive. But a promised sequel never materialized, allegedly leading to bad blood between the pair. And in 2022, the producer removed Drake from a song called Trance and unfollowed him on Instagram. So, of course, Drake didn't take this laying down, and he addressed Kendrick's verse in a concert in Florida. When he had a message for the crowd. A lot of people ask me how I'm feeling. He said, I'm gonna let you know how I'm feeling. I get my bleep head up high, my back straight. I'm 10 bleep toes down in Florida and everywhere and anywhere else I go. And I know that no matter what, it's not a person on this was Kendrick Lamar beef with Drake and J. Cole earth that could ever bleep with me in my life. So he responded there saying, basically, Kendrick, you can't touch me. Nobody can mess with me. I'm me. And so 2 weeks later, J. Cole offered his own verse, which we all know that 7-minute drill where he was going in. And then we know how J. Cole took those words back to all of a sudden, where he was saying, he felt terrible. He felt like he was pushed into doing this record. He apologized to Kendrick and he asked for forgiveness. He only wants, peace and all these things, yada, yada, yada. That was very odd to a lot of us whenever this happened. And so then he did that, but Drake didn't stop. So on April 13th, Drake released a song called Push Ups, dropping Give Me 50, in which he took aim at Lamar's height, calling him a midget. We don't say that word. Little person. He says he's 5'4" and a record label puppet who's forced to collaborate with pop artists. Maroon 5 need a verse. You better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. It's one of his lines. He also took issue with Lamar's position in the hip hop hierarchy, suggesting other artists had overtaken him. Pip Squeak piped down. You ain't in no bit three. SZA got you wiped down. Travis got you wiped down. Savage got you wiped down. He also tagged Future, The Weeknd, and Rick Ross in the song. So that got Rick Ross involved, who also took shots. You remember that, and talking about that, alleging that he had a nose job, fake abs, and a Brazilian butt lift. All those things going on Instagram. That got a little crazy. Kanye jumped into it, started siding with Kendrick Lamar. He started dissing Drake and J. Cole with their lyrics, and pretty much just telling them they ain't nothing. And you know, I ain't got time for Kanye. That's a whole nother story. So we ain't got to address what he said. We'll get back to Kendrick, where it really matters. So it was all this talk, and Drake is like, pretty much like, we're waiting, because it had been like 2 or 3 weeks before Kendrick even said something. And baby, this week, Kendrick has been responding, and he's been responding in a loud way. First, he's responded with his track Euphoria, which was over 6 minutes long and already had everybody talking about that, which was controversial opinions, because you had people like Cam and Mace who wasn't that impressed, but a lot of people was reading all the shots that he was taking, because there were so many digs within this 6-minute project. But the song is currently streaming and doing big numbers, but he didn't wait, y'all, no 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever to respond again. He responded right again yesterday with 616 in LA, in which that title alone works as a parody of Drake's Timestamp series. June 16th is both Father's Day and Tupac's birthday, and its artwork is a pair of Maybach gloves. The track features a relaxed but focused Kendrick Lamar going in over a lush, restrained Al Green sample. And Variety confirms it's produced by frequent Kendrick collaborator Soundwave and Jack. I'm sorry. Oh, there my screen lost it for a second. Jack Antonoff, who has a group called Red Hearse. All right. And in this track, Kendrick starts out listing his own blessings before turning his attention to Drake, leaving taunting hints that Drake has moles in his camp. Are you finally ready to play? Have you ever? Let's see. Have you ever thought that Ovo was working for me? Fate bully. I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team's whispering that you deserve it. Saying your own friends ain't got your back. He's also implying that Drake is trying and failing to pay for dirt on his name. It was fun till you start to put money up in the streets, then lost money because they came back with no receipts. I'm sorry that I live a boring life. I love peace, but war ready if the world's ready to see you bleed. So Kendrick is not here to play anymore, y'all. And this beef has been interesting to me because of a lot of the commentary on social media has been stuck on Euphoria, and it's been a lot of commentary around basically basically around skin color, biracialness, all this stuff. Because in the lyrics, whenever he's talking about, we don't want to hear you say ninja no more. The way I took this, because I'm not going to get into like questioning blackness or deciding what's black and who's not, this and that. All that stuff is created through white supremacy anyway, but it is the reality in which we live and how we label ourselves, and it is important in life and how we navigate and move. However, the way I personally interpreted it is as far as like cosplaying blackness in a way, and the way he was digging on Drake, just really getting at his fakeness and phoniness, because that's how I view it. I've always had a problem with hearing Drake say ninja. I don't know why. It just gives me an ick. And I think it gives me the ick because it doesn't seem authentic. in a lot of the ways that he moves and things like that, it seems to be more of a cosplay in the culture of what he thinks is appropriate or what he thinks or how he should be acting. It just never seemed authentic to him. Now I could be wrong. I can admit if I'm gonna be wrong, but this is just how I see it. Like Drake doesn't give me, for instance, I grew up like saying ninja, I would say it sometimes here and there, in groups, but it's not consistent. It just comes out. It depends on what's happening, the topic, what we're talking about, the mood, all these things. And you know, it's what we do as black people. It's one of those things that may be said around. But I also don't go around just saying it all the time or just in any context because it's not how I grew up. I grew up in the country. I grew up like people around me. We just didn't talk that way. It wasn't in our vernacular to say it like consistently, like we said it, but it wasn't like a consistent thing. When it comes to people like Drake, I just feel like it's not how he grew up. Now, I could be wrong. Y'all, I mean, maybe somebody knows more than me, but to me, it just comes off as a little cosplaying. In a lot of ways of blackness with Drake. That just never set right with me. I can rock with some of his songs. Overall, it's not my style. It's not what I prefer. But yeah, like the dude has talent. Nobody's denying that. But he's stepping into an arena I don't think he can compete in. Mm-mm. As people are saying, I bet he is assembling a whole team of ghostwriters right now, trying to get back at Kendrick because he is laying into him, giving you that West Coast vibe, just sliding into it with multiple reads going on that you have to go back and listen and thinking about because he's making all kind of references. If you're not familiar with the reference, then you aren't going to get it with what he's saying. It's a smart guy and a dope lyricist, and I don't think Drake wants any part of that. And I'm rocking with Kendrick all the way in this. So I'm ready to see what Drake is going to do and fire back because this is one beef that has me entertained because I love a rap beef and I love like when those jabs and stuff at each other. As long as people keep it just to the music, just to the lyrics, and it doesn't escalate in anything beyond that, which none of them gives me that it would, I'm here for it. All right, so let's keep it moving. The next beef I want to talk about is none other K Michelle and Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton. You're gonna be Tamar to me today instead of Tamar. I don't even know if I want to call you Tay Tay because what are you doing at your big old age? Just to remind you, both K Michelle, well, K Michelle is 42, Tamar is 47. And we are out here doing this. Now, the beef between K Michelle and Tamar, it goes back a long way. This is like a decade now beef, long beef. Like I just remember stuff way back whenever I think Tamar was accusing like K Michelle of taking her wigs or something like that, and or the other way around, or was K Michelle accusing Tamar? I forget. And then I remember Tamar not believing about the abuse and stuff. K Michelle was a legend, like in the love and hip hop days. There have been words about that. The girls have just been going back and forth on multiple issues for years. And K Michelle alleging that Tamar slept with Jermaine Dupri's daddy, and that the daddy's mama whipped her tail in the elevator, and all that stuff is like the drama just continues to go back. And I remember there was a brief moment whenever it was reported that they squashed their beef, and I think it was at a BET Awards or something. But that didn't last long because they've been taking little shout. They always take digs at each other. So y'all know what happened this week whenever Tamar was talking about black artists in country music and how some black artists don't need to be singing country music because they don't sound good. And everybody took this as a shot at K Michelle. She didn't explicitly say K Michelle, but I can see how it was, taken that way. And she probably undoubtedly was talking about K Michelle because those are the little nonchalant, like little digs Tamar takes. Then K Michelle started shooting back. And when she hit her with that Muppet meme, Had everybody going with that. That was, and she's been calling her a Muppet for a long time. And Tamar really takes that little criticism to heart. Then Tamar starts firing back, and she has her little lob that was corny, doing stuff. Well, it doesn't stop there. K Michelle was not done. If y'all haven't seen this, that was out on it's either yesterday or the day before yesterday. My memory is escaping me right now. When she posted this one, when she said, "Elise, I ain't wearing prom dresses and dunks on stage." This was a repost right here that I'm showing you now, but it was posted by K Michelle. And then it's this video of Tamar out here doing what she's doing. Now, y'all, I saw Tamar in concert. That was last year. I think that was last year. Yes, when it was the R&B tour that they had here in DC. I was so excited to see her. So excited. And then I actually saw her. And she came out there and she was doing stuff just like this. I mean, I probably would have been glad if she even had a prom dress on then. But yeah, she was barely singing. She was just out there trying to dance, doing all this and that. And I'm like, you're not showing out for the DMV? What is going on? Because I know you got vocals, girl. Just sit back there and give us the vocals what we want. But I need these women to stop. This is getting embarrassing. Like both of y'all need to cut this out. 42 and 47, and we're still doing this. We're going at each other over social media like this and taking just crazy digs at each other. How can y'all not be grown women at this point? Just come somewhere and talk this out. There need to be apologies made. We need to go ahead and move on and just be successful. Like y'all could be so good, for the culture together more than it is fighting against each other. And I think they've both been like fighting to get to that A-list celebrity star status for so long. And there's stuff like this that just keeps holding you back, like from just doing what needs to be done because you both have the talent. And K Michelle, you're making a move. We're going to see how this country blows up when your album comes up. You have a lot of people supporting you. Just don't live in this. You don't have time for this. There's too much going on for you to risk, losing anything over this beef right here that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But you know what? The beef doesn't stop there when it comes to country music. But there is another country music beef that is brewing, I guess you could say. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere or what's going to happen with that one. But this is between Willie Jones and Shaboozey. First of all, people barely know y'all right now as it is. And a lot of people only know you. I knew of you because I keep up with some black country artists. But a lot of people only know you right now because of Beyonce and being on her album of Cowboy Carter and the impact that had. And Shaboozey, I would say that I feel like Shaboozey has had kind of like a stronger, excuse me, Willie Jones, he's done his thing, but I feel like Shaboozey within the country music scene, from what I know and experience, I always hear more white folks talking about Shaboozey, even before Beyonce. Than I heard him talking about Willie Jones, and he was already making headways. So right now, Shaboozey, he just dethroned Beyonce as having the number one single on the hot country charts with his song, a bar song, Tipsy. And so there was a video for this song. And I remember one of my good friends, ex-coworkers, he said he's a country music fan, white guy, and we talk about country music and stuff like that. Especially after I was doing my series of black country artists, and he sent me this video like whenever it came out. And I kind of had like a similar thought, Willie Jones and what he says when I saw it. I had heard the song already, but I hadn't seen that video that was done for it. But anyway, Willie Jones congratulated Shaboozey on the song, but added that he hopes the whites and the Beehive show him the same level of support, noting that the Virginia native looked like a fly in a milk bowl. Jones seemed to double down on his comment, adding on X, formerly Twitter, "Congrats to Shaboozey. Jeans on the number one, but the off the porch is whack as hell. Love the song though." Now in the video, if you have not seen the video, Shaboozey is surrounded. He's at a bar and he's surrounded by nothing but white folks around him. A lot of them in the bar, they're getting tipsy and behind them supporting them. And this was hilarious to me because if he was like a fly in a milk bowl, once you think about it. So I get what Willie Jones was saying, whether or not it was appropriate or not to do it, whether or not it needed to be said like this on a public forum. I don't really think so. I don't know. But Shaboozey, he had something to say under it. He was like, "You want to do this here?" And Willie Jones said, "Shit, you never pick up the phone. You up now?" So apparently he was trying to call him about it before, but Shaboozey wasn't picking up and stuff. So that was interesting to me. Shaboozey did later tweet saying, "For real, it's all love. I'm having a moment right now. Never thought this would happen in my career. I just want to enjoy it with peace and love." So he seems to be taking some sort of high road right here, if you want to say, in the situation, and not gonna engage. However, comma period. Well, not quite a period yet, comma. Shaboozey, yeah, I think you could have like rethought this video and the optics. There is a movement that is happening with black country artists in music, and I get it's not all about color. At the end of the day, it's not really gonna matter, and it really shouldn't. We all should just enjoy music, no matter the shade or anything like that. But I don't see what's wrong with having like some sprinkles in your video. I think you gotta think about it. Now, if you don't know Shaboozey's background, he was born in Northern Virginia, so he's right here in the DMV area, to parents from Nigeria, and he was raised in Woodbridge, Virginia. Um, so I'm gonna just leave that there. You come to your own thoughts before I get myself in trouble. I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, you could have just rethought that video. But Willie, y'all, it's too early in the game to be going against each other. We don't need no kind of beef. We don't need this controversy. We're still trying to get in the door, even though we've been in the door forever, and there have been artists, black artists in country music, pioneers. If you go to any of my reels and look at like some of the artists I covered, black artists in country music, we have had tons, and there have been a lot of dope people, and there are really dope people in the space now. But we know as black people, like eyes are on us. We're scrutinized so much more by our own and by those on the outside, by everyone. So don't come in here with no beef when this is just getting name recognition all everywhere. We don't need this, but maybe it's a ploy. What do I know? Maybe this is a marketing strategy, and now you're gonna have more people researching you and going to your music and things of that nature just to figure out some more about you. So maybe this is all a ploy that y'all are setting up together and pulling the wool over our own eyes here. All right, but talking about beefs that shouldn't be, and this is the last one that I'm gonna cover right here. We tired. We are so damn tired a Miss Monique. But she's back at it. And she has reignited the Oprah and Tyler Perry kind of talk. Calling them all kind of coons and all kind of mother effers and everything. Why are we here? Why are we still here? So Monique is once again slamming Oprah and Tyler Perry. The comedian hit the stage during Cat Williams' latest stop. You know, she's on tour with him. And his special, I think it comes out, tomorrow, Saturday. His live special on Netflix. And she just went in an absolute tirade against Oprah and Tyler Perry. She just started shouting, F you, Oprah. F you, Tyler. You know what? I'm just going to let you listen to it. Just listen to it if you haven't yet.
Fuck you, Oprah Winfrey. Fuck you, Tyler Perry. Fuck them motherfuckers. I said it. Say it with me. Fuck you, Oprah Winfrey. Fuck you, Tyler Perry. You motherfucker. Now some niggas got scared. They was like, you going too far, bitch. I love that black raggedy bitch. I love that black simple-minded motherfucker. I love Oprah Winfrey's black ass. And we just need to bring her back to black. We need to bring that bitch back to motherfucking black. Are you an Oprah Winfrey fan? Yes. Okay, well, I'm not apologizing for any motherfucking thing I say. What's your name, brother? Bill. What did he say? Melvin. We need you to help us bring that bitch back to black. I need you to bend her the fuck over and fuck her like a Nashville, Tennessee nigga would and bring that bitch back to black. Oh, bitch, be quiet. You gonna get some money out of this shit. And every time you see fucking Oprah, you see fucking gay. Best friends. That's what they say. I've never seen best friends like that. We ain't seen Stephanie in 30 motherfucking years. Who is loving Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King? Each other! But we don't want to say the shit out loud because it's Oprah fucking Winfrey. I'm too motherfucking old to be scared of this bitch. I'm too old to be intimidated by this bitch. I'm too old to hold the motherfucking truth. You know why I fuck with Oprah Winfrey, Melvin? Because that bitch tried to fuck with me privately. Well, I'm a public bitch. You tried to fuck with me behind closed doors. Bitch, open the door up. Ding dong, I'm gonna let your motherfucking ass in. Now, are you gonna fuck her or not?
At what point do you just let shit go? Like, give it a rest. You call Oprah simple-minded? You definitely only have one mind, and it's fixated on Oprah and Tyler Perry and how they did you wrong. And no one is saying you aren't right or that they didn't. But how long ago was this now? How many specials are you going to have talking about it? How many times are you going to do this act on your comedy tour? You talking about bring Oprah back to black. Bring Monique back to comedy. Like, can I laugh? The way I would be pissed off if I'm buying tickets and going to a therapy session. You worse than Jared Carmichael right now. Y'all just be having therapy up there on the stage. Like, what is happening? Tell some jokes. And then it was just so grotesque. Like, and then know like how Oprah dealt with sexual assault in the past, and then you make these sexual jokes of what he should do, and then on top of that, you on your special want to call yourself part of the community and consider yourself, I don't know if you're, can't remember if you're calling yourself bisexual or whatever, but saying like, oh, you only want to be licked, you ain't gonna be doing no licking. See, that's why we looked at you side-eyed anyway from that. It's always you types that want to be adjacent to the community or want to dabble or say these things, but the first chance you get to throw a dig, you're gonna be right there throwing your stones. How old is this Oprah Gayle King little narrative for lesbianism and da 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 da? But why is that funny? Why is it a joke? Why is it anything that needs to be said? Who cares? Who really cares if they are lovers, if they're not, if they're just friends, or what? Who cares? I don't understand why this is a joke or why it's funny or anything, but it would be you to want to throw those stones right away. Monique is so corny to me. It's just so tired, y'all. I just can't. I can't empathize. I can't have sympathy. I can't do any of this anymore because this is just too much. At some point, you got to just move on with life. We have all been through whatever. Effie, we all got problems. We all got stuff that happened to us in our past that traumatized us, that have done things, but we don't sit around and carry it around and talk about it forever without end. It's only so long that you can live with that and get away with it. I don't know. It's only so long that you can carry that stuff around before it just becomes annoying as hell. Y'all, I am so over her. So over her. Well, that's the beefs, y'all. If you want to hear more, go ahead and click on the next video for part 2 to see what else I'm burning about. Later, tater tots.